Hello and thank you for joining us on Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. I am Mark Otabo. President Tinubu marks 2 years in office, says worst is over. Nigeria's future is bright. Also, Appeal Court affirms Ukpewolu's election as Edo governor, as governor urges PDP to accept verdict. And later on the show, Fubara predicts quick return to democracy in Rivers State, urges Nigerians to thank President Tinubu for intervention in its crisis. All the details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. This week, President Bola Tinubu marked 2 years in office. In his address to countrymen, he stated that the worst is behind them as the country is getting better. Halfway through his term, Tinubu acknowledged the pain in his reforms had unleashed, adding that he did not take the patience of Nigerians for granted. Rounding up his speech, he acknowledged the sacrifices many Nigerians are making and said his administration, with the help of Nigerians, is building a stronger, more inclusive Nigeria that all can be proud of. However, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, did not share the same sentiment as the president. In a statement released, the party said the president had failed Nigerians. And of course, joining me to discuss these events that have unfolded since the president took office in 2023 is Olayinka Daniels. He's a lawyer. He's actually standing by on Zoom for us. Olayinka Daniels, good to have you on the show this evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right. I also have Ibrahim Garba, communications consultant, joining the conversation from Abuja. Ibrahim Garba, good evening and good to have you on Newsweek this evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. Happy New Month.
Fantastic. Yeah, same here. I'll start with you, Mr. Ibrahim Garba. How would you assess President Tinubu's performance in his first 2 years in office?
Thank you very much, Mark. I think a lot has been said by some of his appointees, even if those in the opposition continue to speak about it, giving him knocks and orders. But if you weigh on the scale of 1 to 10, and for what Mr. President has said recently about his scorecard, that yes, the worst days are over. It is true. We are seeing, the benefits, and we are seeing how it's trickling down. If you have to roll out a report card, there's so much that has been, achieved within the space of 2 years. But Mark, you agree with me that one of the things he has done, which really impacted on Nigerian most, is that of fiscal responsibility, where we see now a situation whereby, subsidy which was removed, we are beginning to see the impact. And before this time, a lot has been said about the Lagos-Calabar, coastal road. We have seen a lot of people saying something about the intrastate road and all that. Seeing over 2,700 roads under construction, under the supervision of Dave Umahi. A lot is happening. But if we have to speak to one of his major decisions, which is the first subsidy removal, Mark, you agree with me that we are beginning to see the benefits. Recall that somewhere around 1999, during Obasanjo's administration, about 14 oil companies were given the mining license to start production, but they couldn't because of the subsidy. You can't compete with government. But where subsidy is removed, investors can put in their money, and you're beginning to see the impact. When he came into power, how much was diesel? Over 1,700. But today, Dangote told us last week, diesel is coming down to as low as 1,000 naira, and petrol is selling less than 900 naira. So we are beginning to see for the first time prices are crashing. So overall, if you pick the oil subsidy, which was removed alone, and the way the monies are coming into the federation account, and from what he has achieved within the space of 2 years, it's enough for Nigerians to give him thumbs up and ask him to ride on. We should be fair when we analyze and criticize. At least we should give him thumbs up for the first time, because we have seen a man who took a very decisive step to fix the nation and deal with those moments, deal with those individuals who had held this nation to ransom these past few years. So for me, I think Mr. President has done so well for Nigerians within this little space of time, Mark.
All right, Mr. Olayinka Daniels, quickly. Now, the fuel subsidy removal and naira devaluation were very controversial. Now, a vast majority of Nigerians who are well informed understand that these policies would impact the cost of living. Now, those who have refused to understand the major impacts of these policies, now, how do you think the government can come to their aid and possibly make their life better or explain it better for them to understand that, look, it's going to get better as we keep moving, because they are not ready to have a grandstanding like you and I, who are well informed on these matters.
Yeah, I love the way you put it. And, for the people that are well informed, no doubt, we will support this government. We will support the movement. But for the average Nigerian, because if you put it on percentage, how many of Nigerians, the average man out there, understand what is happening? Because to them, every day they can't eat 3 square meals. Every day they can. You need to go out and see the way people beg here and there. People are hungry. People cannot wait. You see, you can think of someone like us that, okay, we've been there, we've seen things, and we can see that something that there's at the end of the tunnel, things will be fine. We believe strongly in it. But why? Because even as we are part of the suffering, well, of course, it's not as if we are all comfortable. We are all struggling with it, because we know that at the end, everything will be fine. But there are people that can't say the same thing. Now, those are the people we are talking about, those average Nigerians that cannot see what we are seeing. How do we fix this? Right. That is the reason why some of us felt that when the subsidy was removed, when the dollar was being floated, those people should have been considered. Not everybody will understand the way these all things will happen.
Right.
So we should have considered them, and probably some measures should have been put in place even before, because some of us supported the subsidy removal. But what we had issues with was the manner in which it was removed.
Okay.
It could have been a gradual thing. In fact, before you tell people that you have removed subsidy, it would have long gone. But because the people you are fighting, we have some enemies that were there and that will not want anything to work in the country. So the moment you give them your arsenal, you had already released the weapon. So they will go ahead of you and block every other thing. And that was what happened initially. But thank God that things are coming back. Thank God that probably they are getting their bearing now, because at the beginning it was rough. We will not lie about it.
Absolutely.
So for those people, how do we help them? We will continue to talk to them. We will continue. The government also needs, like what they've been doing in the recent past, need to educate people, need to let them know what they are doing, need to put them always calm them down and let them understand. And also, when you are asking people to calm down, when you're asking people to hold on that things will get better, then I don't want to see you living a flashy life.
Okay.
You should also work with me. We should also be in the same bus together.
All right. All right.
The challenges.
Okay.
Not that you be living a lavish life and you are telling me to manage. No, it can't work. And that is what people are saying.
All right, Mr. Lainka, quickly.
You and I, for instance, let me use the entourage Mr. President used when he came to Lagos. Do you know that some of the people that were in that convoy could be friends? Some of them will be governors. Some of them will be ministers. But people don't understand. A number of people don't know that.
Right.
They think it's only Mr. President that is riding over 80-something motorcades. So an average man out there doesn't have this understanding. And we need to let them know.
Okay, fine. Mr. Garba, quickly, now, some critics have said the citizens feel disconnected from the political process. Now, how would you rate Tinubu's commitment to democratic governance and inclusion from your perspective, quickly?
No, you see, Mark, you can see this man is very transparent. Ever since he came into office, he made it clear this is the direction he wants to take Nigeria, and these are the things he wants to do. By appointing credible people to help him deliver on the dividends of democracy. We are beginning to see it again. Just like Olainka said, yes, it's painful at this early stage. But what we should do, what we should realize, what we should understand is many nations across the world that took this part succeeded in the end. Take Singapore, for instance. They passed through this difficult stage. China, the same thing. There was a time in China, Mark, that, there was a law that you don't give birth to more than one child. They took hard decisions, but it paid off in the end. So we should begin to do more of orientation and at the same time disseminating this information to reach the grassroots. If we do that, I think it will help the government a long way. It can't be the responsibility of the government alone. we as citizens should do our part in helping out deliver this very vital information. I think we are going to get it right soon.
All right, Mr. Lainka, quickly, you made a point now when you said when the president came to Lagos, the entourage that came with him, not many people will understand that those people who came with him are part of his cabinet, the governors, ministers, and what have you. Now, do you think that the PR department of the president is failing in its responsibility to actually educate Nigerians, to put them through a process to understand that this is how things are being done and not the way they perceive it to be?
Very well. I think you're correct. If I would say it's a question, the answer to me, the PR is not doing well at all.
Okay.
Not just about that particular incident. A lot of things that PR need to work on. The PR is not really helping the government.
Okay.
Disseminate information. Let people be aware of the reality of things. Some of us probably we know things and we see things, so we can say that. And I see people, they put on video and they are recording, 81, and he's saying that we should all calm down. It is not only Mr. President that is in that entourage, that convoy.
Right.
People should know it's not just his own vehicles.
Okay.
The PR need to work a lot. Aside from that particular thing, a lot of things about this government, the PR need to work on, to let people be informed. Because when you are not informed, you'll be deformed. Okay. And that is what we are seeing today.
All right, let me put this to you. I might have to ask you, Garba, too, before we round up from this topic. If you had the president's ear today, what top 3 actions would you advise him to take going forward?
Myself?
Mr. Lainka, quickly, before I go to Mr. Ibrahim.
Oh, sorry, I didn't take that. I thought you were asking Mr. Ibrahim, so
Yes,
I didn't get that.
yes, I said if you had the president's ear today, what top 3 actions would you advise him to take going forward? I mean, Mr. President.
Yeah, for me, 3 things.
Yeah.
Economic reform, very, very important.
All right.
Economic growth, very important.
All right.
Security, very important.
All
And
right.
now the security, sorry if I could quickly say this, people should not leave it at the decks of Mr. President.
Okay.
When we had issues in Southwest, we have Amotekun. So what are the governors doing in the Northeast, in some of those northern parts that we have challenges? Seriously, we need to say the truth to ourselves.
Okay.
What are the governors doing? What is their duty? They are the chief security officers of those states.
Okay.
Everything should not be put on Mr. President's table. But at the same time, Mr. President really needs to work with the state to harmonize security so that because if we have these 3, I think we are good to go. Okay.
Ibrahim Garba, quickly, you heard what Olayinka just said. Now, we understand that the governors right now get, the FAC allocations have increased enormously. Now, what should be the responsibility of governors right now to help the president deliver his vision to Nigeria?
Mark, they know their responsibilities.
Okay.
These are subnationals. The presidents, there's so much, pressure on the presidency and all that. But the governors know it's time to complement this president. It's not about politics now, it's about reality, what we're facing. These reforms we are saying, it needs proper synergy within the federal and the state and the local governments. So if, especially now that we have the local government autonomy in place, I think the governor should be fair to Nigerians by allowing this policy to thrive and to fly. If we can achieve that at the local level, there will be less pressure at the center, and you begin to see the economy rebooting. So I think we should do more by focusing more on the subnationals and those at the local level, so that the economy from that end, will see, greater impact. That's the way to go.
All right. We'll go on a quick break now, and Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us.